Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm going to be talking about some common mistakes that musicians tend to make during their practice sessions. And although I am a cellist, I'm a cello teacher, these concepts really apply to anyone no matter what instrument you play. Before we begin, if you're new to my channel, my name is Sarah Joy and it's so great that you're watching this. If you want to keep up with music videos, music tutorials, you should definitely subscribe. Although, like I said before, I'm a cello teacher, I like to sing, write my own music, do covers, play other instruments, and so if you want to see weekly music videos, I release those on Wednesdays between the hours of noon and 2 p.m. and then I release weekly tutorials on Fridays. And if you have any suggestions for music tutorials, if you want to see a video over something in particular, then just leave me a comment. I keep a whole list. I write it down every time someone asks me to do a tutorial, so that way I can keep track and I will always get to the tutorial eventually. It may take me a while, but I'll always get it done. So mistake number one whenever people are practicing, to me, would be playing too fast. This is the most common mistake and it causes the most tension, the most aggravation, and people tend to give up easily whenever they struggle with this problem. It's understandable why people do this. They want to push themselves to the limit, see how far they can go, and that's okay at the right time, but you have to prioritize your practicing correctly. If all of your practicing is just playing through pieces quickly without taking the time to slow down and actually learn the piece, then you're going to have a lot of problems and you're going to be practicing in a lot of problems. The fastest way to learn a piece, surprisingly, is to practice it slowly. The slower you practice, the faster it's going to happen for you. I think the second mistake is not listening. And that sounds funny. Like, how do you practice and not listen to yourself? Because, see, there is a difference between hearing and listening. Listening requires you to engage your brain and think about, okay, is this really something that I would want to listen to? Is this engaging? Is it inspiring? Is it captivating? And whenever you actually engage your ears and you really pay attention to what sound you're producing, not just the technical stuff. Don't just think about, okay, am I getting all the fingerings right? Am I doing all the bowings right? All the technical stuff. Technical stuff is good, yes, but at the end of the day, especially right before a concert, you have to take a step back, play from your heart and listen. I always tell my students, it's really funny, but I tell them take one ear, put it in that corner of the room, take the other ear and put it in that corner of the room. It sounds weird, but it's a really good mental trick to help yourself think, think about what you're producing. Think about the sounds that you're producing. I also like to say, don't let yourself go into robot mode. And that's basically just when you play and play and play and you're getting all the notes right, all of the bowings perfect, fine, blah, blah, but the musicality is just dead. There's nothing there, and that's your fault. You are responsible for creating a beautiful environment for people to just sit and listen to your music. That's your responsibility as an artist. And how are you supposed to do that in a performance if you don't do it in your practicing? The third mistake that I would like to talk about is ignoring mistakes, ignoring problems. This is easy to do whenever you're really tired, you just want to get the practicing out of the way, let's just do it. And you know how people say practice makes perfect? Incorrect. This is completely false. Practice does not make perfect. I don't know why people say that. The quote that does make sense, and that is accurate, I don't actually know who said this. I've heard it from several people though. This quote makes sense. It's that practice makes permanent. So not practice makes perfect, but practice makes permanent. You can practice a whole lot and just keep running through a piece and keep messing up one note in the same spot, and if you keep going through it and keep ignoring that problem, guess what? Whenever you're performing, it's going to show up. And the thing is that if you ingrain that mistake into your nervous system, it's going to take twice as long to get it out of your nervous system. So save yourself the time, save yourself the trouble, and just, if there's a mistake, stop, fix it, put it back into context, or maybe go like 1 to 3 measures behind, see if it runs smoothly. If you get it right that time, then put it into a larger context, maybe go back 5-10 measures, do that, and then once you are sure that you're getting this right and you're getting the right notes, then you can go back to the top of the piece and go and run all the way through it. Now, there is a time and a place for just running through the music and running through it at full speed, not stopping. If you make a mistake, just keep going, because like I was saying before, you do have to practice performing, and obviously in a performance you can't just stop and it's like, oops, hold on guys, I gotta practice this real fast, and then take 5 minutes while the orchestra behind you is like, what? During the process of learning the piece though, you should be going through that whole routine of, if there's a mistake, don't ignore it, don't play through it. You have to stop and fix it. And I think the fourth mistake that musicians tend to make that I want to talk about is kind of related to this, and this is not being willing to analyze the problem. So it's one thing to fix the problem, which is great, and that's usually what most of the practice time is spent on. It's just, okay, fix it, let's go, let's learn this piece, let's just get it done. But I think musicians oftentimes forget to actually analyze the problem. So not what are we doing wrong, but why are we doing it wrong? Is there some sort of muscle tension that's causing you to not be able to get that shift correct? Is there some reason why your vibrato is tight and doesn't fit the style of the piece? And whenever you analyze the problem and figure out, okay, why is this happening? What can I do to fix it? Not just what is the problem, but it's like, why? That way you can apply it to other pieces of music, other sorts of phrases or articulations or moods that are similar to what you're practicing right now. If you can analyze what the problem is and fix the thing that you're working on right now, then you can take that and you can apply it. So you're not just running through a bunch of repertoire, you're actually making the best use out of learning one piece of music, because those problems in that one piece of music, if you fix them and you understand how and why and all of these details, then you can apply that over a huge range of repertoire, and it's going to help you learn music even faster in the future. And I think the fifth point that I want to talk about, I've already talked about, kind of got ahead of myself, but practicing the performance. I remember it was probably my, I think, sophomore or junior year, something finally clicked in my brain about being an actual performer. And for years and years and years, I had always, I guess, been caught up in the technical parts of things. And one day in my lesson, my teacher was just, you can be more musical than this. He was pushing me. You can be more musical than this. You have more to say than this. And what's going on with your technical, just forget it. Just push it aside and focus on what you want to say. In that moment, it just clicked. It just clicked for me. And so instead of worrying so much about, okay, I have to accelerate here, decrescendo there, get this articulation just perfect, I thought about what I wanted to say through the music, and I listened as I played, and all of the technical problems that I had been struggling with just disappeared. I did them automatically because I was saying what I wanted to say. And so I guess I say all of that to get the point across that yes, we do practice and we work on the technical parts, but you have to practice performing. And so just sit down in a practice room and just let it go. Play for yourself. Practice performing. Perform for yourself. And it really, not only does it help your musicality, but it also fills that part of your artistic makeup that craves that wants to just make beautiful music and listen to beautiful music. So I hope that these thoughts help you to make the most out of your practice time, maybe avoid some of these mistakes. I promise you that it will help you practice more efficiently and effectively. And yeah, if you have any additional comments, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. Also, again, if you have any questions about anything music related, let me know. I'm always needing new material for videos. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I certainly hope that this video helps.